Here in the studio today, we have Lenovo's newest Chromebook, the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 2-in-1. And if you've looked at this device over the past few months since it's been out, kind of like we have, been really curious to see what exactly Lenovo did with this, what feels a little more of an entry-level, like mid-range version of probably my favorite Chromebook in the world, the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 14. And so I've handled one in Best Buy a couple times. We've kind of waited around for Lenovo to send us a review model, but I don't think those are going out. So we just went and got one. So without any further ado, let's jump in the box. So before we actually jump in the box, there are a couple things I want to point out about this device. One, from the limited time I've had handling it, it does feel a lot like the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 14, which is a very good thing. It's convertible too, so for those of you that have looked at that device and thought, man, I'd love it if it converted, it does that. But there's a bunch of different trade-offs too. So again, I don't want to turn this into some sort of comparison video, but there are some things I'm curious about, genuinely, as the prices can get really similar. So this is $579 MSRP. So on a daily basis, $579. And while the high-end Chromebook Plus 14 is $750, it does go on sale for $150 and $200 off. And so it ekes down into the same price point as this. And on paper, at least, it's really hard to justify spending that money unless you have to have a 2-in-1. It's hard to justify spending the same kind of money for these two devices. And we'll get into all the specs here in just a second as we get into the box. But that's a very interesting thing to me about this particular Chromebook. Now, it does come in the navy colorway, which I'm kind of excited to see in person, kind of in the studio. Again, I've just handled it in passing at a Best Buy. My main thing with it was, hey, I want to get my hands on this thing because I'm curious. It looks a lot like the Chromebook Plus 14. Is it built out of the same stuff? And so from what I could tell in my limited time, the answer to that is yes, at least on the outside. Two-piece charging brick, so nothing real special here. I can't remember the charger with the Lenovo, the Chromebook Plus 14. I think it might come with a cooler, little bit of a block. And again, that's, if you remember, the Chromebook Plus 14 is ARM powered, so it's the MediaTek Companion Ultra. It's the fastest Chromebook that's ever been made. And I love almost everything about it. Screen, speakers, keyboard, trackpad, the speed, the battery life is insane. Like it's a fantastic device. So this makes this an interesting device in this category. Okay, so gorgeous laptop. I mean, I love these navy colored Chromebooks, and the feel in the hand, very similar. I'm curious though. It's heavier than the Chromebook Plus 14. Same thickness, very similar chassis. I mean, those are very, very identical. I don't remember on this one because I never do it. Yeah, you don't get a one finger lift on the 14. I seriously doubt you'll get it here, but we'll give it a try. No, definitely not. But it feels very quality. And yeah, the bottom of the chassis, nice and rigid, kind of as you can see there. It literally feels just like this one in the hand. So inside you've got, since we're already opened here, you got a fingerprint scanner, what feels like a very similar trackpad, and keyboard, upward firing speaker with the, is it Waves? I can't barely see it on this navy. Yeah, Waves Max audio. So yeah, we'll have to test the speakers out real quick to see. Webcam with the sliding privacy guard there. So a lot of the same stuff you see in this. I mean, these are high-end specs that we expect. Obviously, out of a device that starts close to $600, it should be pretty nice. It's a Chromebook Plus. On the inside, this device is the Core 3 Core 3 N355. So it's not going to be on the level of the Companion Ultra as far as performance, but it should not be slow. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. Let's look at these ports here. These are going to be tough. Can you get those on camera? Just going to have to trust me, I think, on this. With this navy, it's hard for me to see them, but so that's a big benefit. Make sure that I'm looking at that. Yep, full-size HDMI, 2 USB Type-Cs, headphone microphone jack, and a micro USB or micro SD card slot, excuse me. And then 2 USB A's over here. So From a port selection standpoint, this thing really kills the 14, because 14's only got, you got 2 USB-Cs and 1 A. For me, that hasn't been a problem, but if you need more ports and you need to easily hook stuff up, this is going to be the one for you. It definitely has that. And man, it feels really, really excellent. You got some fan ports on the back here, which you don't get, obviously, with the 14 being an ARM chip. So this is Intel Silicon, needs some fans. So that's probably some of the extra weight that you have here. But overall, this thing feels really, really solid, really well made. I'm very impressed with this. All right, so I did open it up. It didn't turn on, so I'm gonna plug it in real quick, get signed in. You know the deal. That'll give me a second to feel the keyboard a little bit, feel the trackpad, see the screen, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of the screen, it is full HD plus, so it's 1920 by 1200, so 16 by 10 gives you a little bit of a taller aspect ratio, exactly what you get on the Plus, the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 14. And it's 300 nits of brightness, so it'll be interesting to see how that screen actually looks under the lights and all that kind of stuff. So let me break from here, get it plugged in, get signed in, all that kind of stuff, and we'll check out the screen, the speakers, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so as always, I got to spend a few minutes with this, actually using it. What I can tell you right off the bat is actually handling it, opening the hinge, converting it, because obviously it converts. It's got nice squared off sides, so it does feel good. It's obviously heavy for trying to use it like a tablet, but when you need to convert something or you need to set it up and do some sort of presentation or something like that, it's going to be really, really great for that. Everything feels quite snappy. We'll obviously talk way more about real world performance in the review, because it's almost impossible to get that in an unboxing, but there's not been anything in the UI moving around that has felt sluggish or slow at all. So the 355 is seemingly doing a pretty good job there. What I want to show you that is pretty significantly different from the Lenovo 14 is the speakers. And we'll get to that in just a second. But first, the screen looks awesome. So again, at 300 nits, we have it way cranked down for the camera. It's bright, it looks great, it's sharp. It's the same resolution as this one. So I mean, it's a good looking screen. It's not OLED. Obviously the Chromebook Plus 14 is OLED, so that's a really nice step up. But it does look really good. And 300 nits is going to be fine for brightness in most settings. Probably not going to love it outdoor. The backlit keyboard looks great. There's very little, if any, bleed around the keyboard characters, and they're not a weird gray color. So that the Lenovo did, the 14 does a good job of that too, of having the darker gray keycaps, so that the light can get through and you can see it in the dark, but in regular lighting conditions, you don't lose all the symbols on the keyboard. Trackpad feels great, smooth, very similar. Very similar to the one on the 14. The fingerprint scanner works as you would expect. And again, you got this nice array of ports. And so really the primary differentiators here are, how good are the speakers? How good's the performance? Again, we'll talk about that later. And whether or not you need a convertible, like with pen support, because it does. We have a USI pen here. It obviously works just fine with a USI pen, whichever one you want to pick up and buy. So those are some upsides. You got a lot more ports than you do on the standard 14 clamshell. You've got a convertible form factor. You've got pen support. So there are some definite upsides here, and this thing does feel like, in the hands, it does feel premium. But the speakers are letting me down a little bit on first glance. So take a listen to this. My laptop in all sorts of settings these days. I have no issue whatsoever in saying that this is my favorite Chromebook ever made. It's not awful. Just not a lot of low end. Decently loud. Before we move on, and they're upward firing, so you get some stereo separation, but just listen to the absolute difference in the same exact clip from the Chromebook Plus 14. Things these days, I have no issue whatsoever in saying that this is my favorite. I mean, that's Chromebook way different. Now granted, this one, the Chromebook 14, is branded Dolby Atmos instead of the Waves audio. So to be fair, they're not branded as the same audio setup, and they are definitely not the same. So while on the outside, everything looks basically the same between the two, it is definitely not exactly the same. But most of the things that you're going to deal with on a Chromebook, your screen, your performance, your keyboard, your trackpad, are very, very good. And I feel like they just carried that DNA right over. And so those are great things to see. The camera looks really awesome. It's 1080p, and you know, the color representation looks really good. The dynamic range is good. So I'm pointing over there. Joe is literally over there in the dark, so it's pulling up all those dynamic range pieces. You know, nothing bad to say about the camera. So the cameras are great. And again, the speakers are going to be serviceable. Like if you're in a video call and stuff, like they're fine. They're just not exceptional. And because the chassis looks exactly the same between the two, I don't know. I was kind of wondering maybe they just slipped in the same speakers. But overall, I'll have to say I'm more impressed by this than I thought I would be, because I just love the original Chromebook Plus 14 so much. I think there's some upsides here, and it warrants a review for sure. Like, we've got to spend some time with this, and let me get my thoughts together around it. I'm not really a convertible guy. I don't really use that functionality that often. But, you know, I will try to kind of force myself into that for this, especially to be able to differentiate it from this very similar, very awesome Chromebook Plus 14. But yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the build quality. Hopefully we'll start seeing this device go on sale a little bit more often. I don't think there's been one for a few months, but that would get it down into that like $400 range, and that would be really, really enticing, especially when the Chromebook Plus 14 is not on sale. But I think that's going to be it for this one. Be on the lookout for a review coming soon. But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Head down there, hit subscribe, and be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.